Good morning. It's Friday and the best day of the week begins. It's still hard to get up. As you can see, I'm better. So my cold is hopefully finally over. A short update on this week. Nothing much happened except for me getting a cold and lying down for 3 days by now. I still look like I just awoke from the dead. Haha, it's Halloween almost. Since I'm back, I decided to show you one day in my life. Like everything that happens. The good stuff, the bad stuff. Hopefully just the good stuff though. Here we are, back at the good old lab. Good morning, lab. Good morning, main hall. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, absentee. First part of today's agenda is worked off. It was having lunch. Next off, we have our daily stand-up, which is basically, as the name suggests, standing up for all team members and telling each other about what they did and what they're gonna do. So everybody's in the picture and knows where the game's at. While I have to wait for the light maps to render, sorry for speaking tongues there, if you place a light source in a scene, you have basically two different ways to render it out in the game. Either you do it real time, which is pretty heavy on the graphics engine, or you pre-bake it, which takes a bit more time, but it basically calculates the light and fall off and everything and bakes it into a map that is then used as a static thing, so that no real-time process power is lost. Let me tell you something about the game, Overtowered. I don't think I really talked much about it yet. So it's a 2-player game. Each player is a wizard. You're a wizard player. Of course, only in the game. And they build their towers. And we have different stackable tower parts that have different effects. Right now we have 3 different spawning parts that spawn units that then run over the map and battle in the middle of the map. Yeah, and basically the goal of the game is, of course, to destroy the other player's tower, because there can only be one wizard. Later on we're probably gonna implement some spells that the players can cast to add some element of surprise to it. These are our inspirations. Since we don't have a real concept artist, we just gathered a lot of artwork online. And these sketches here show my vision of how the 3 different spawning parts should look like. So we have like 3 different units. One is skeletons. Oh, I don't have them here. Skeletons, cultists, and golems. Golems look like that, roughly. So for the skeleton spawn, there are some really distinguishable features, or should be, in the model to let the players see quickly that this tower part spawns skeletons. That's actually how it turned out. This is a 3D render. Like you see, coffins on the side and bones in the structure, so that's pretty clear, I guess. Second thing was the cultists or apprentices, science guys basically. So I thought about a lot of pipes and alchemy stuff and so on. That's how that turned out. The one in the middle looks a bit like an observatory, and on the side it has like a furnace or something. The last one is for the golems. This is really blocky, and well, since they have like giant hands, they can't really refine the stuff they build. So this is how that turned out, like a lot of giant tree trunks and really blocky architecture. And next week we'll start with the texturing. So it's 5:30, the sun is already setting, and we're preparing for the official opening of the Oulu Game Lab at its new place. There are gonna be a lot of different people from OMK, and Robin is there, and Thomas is there, and we're gonna showcase our games here. So people have the opportunity to play our amazing unfinished game prototypes and give feedback. Okay, the event is basically over, and it escalated into a lot of beer and a lot of games. I'm gonna head home soon. It was nice, we got a lot of useful feedback. A lot of useful feedback, and we're gonna enhance on the game next week. So that was this week, or rather the Friday of this week, because to be honest, half of this week I was spending in bed trying to cure my cold. It was pretty persistent, but I'm well off again. Hey, that's great. And the next things coming up are Halloween next week. We're gonna have a little party at the Game Lab again. And with the start of November, traveling time will begin for me, because we will go to Norway for 4 days. And end of November I'll also go to Lapland. So yeah, I don't want to say too much about it yet, so just stay tuned and stay amazing. Remember one thing, kids. There's always time for tea before you run down the stairs, because you're already way too late.